Hello.
Oh, we're starting. Okay, hi guys. I'm Nuts and he's Bolts, and this isn't.
No.
This isn't the title.
No.
Well, we got Rareware.
Yeah. In this game, it is Rare LTD. I do believe.
Right. Yeah. Sorry, I'm used to. I played Donkey. Hey, it's Banjo-Kazooie.
Yeah.
Sweet. I played Donkey Kong Country.
Yeah.
Way back in the day.
Well, like on Banjo-Kazooie, on the original cartridges, Rare.
Right. Oh.
But it's Microsoft's.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
So this is the updated Microsoft version.
XBLA.
Yeah.
Version. So yeah, we played Super Mario 64, and while playing it, we talked about Banjo-Kazooie, and that made Uriah excited to play Banjo-Kazooie.
And so we played ukulele.
Yeah. And now we're playing Banjo-Kazooie.
Yep.
Ooh.
So we're just gonna launch straight into the story, which is actually a pretty long cutscene. And man, I think we mentioned it in the ukulele, and we constantly talk about it. I love Rare Speak.
Right, yeah. No, we talked about it a lot during Super Mario 64 as well.
Yeah. And she rhymes. Everything she says is rhyming.
Yeah. So
which is great.
You've played and beaten all the Banjo-Kazooies?
Yes. Yes, I have.
I have only played a little bit of one. I've never touched two, and I played and beat Nuts and Bolts.
Including the Grunty's Revenge on the Game Boy Advance, I think it was.
Oh?
And Pilot Wings, which was also on the Game Boy Advanced.
What is Grunty's Revenge? Oh, wait, I remember.
Yep.
Yeah, I did some reading up on it after I beat Nuts and Bolts.
Yep.
What about Pilot Wings, though?
I can't remember. It's been a long time. But, I think Banjo also makes a, I love that. The turn, pause, and then it cuts. That broom is in Conker's Bad Fur Day. I was about to mention, I love that even in the Game Boy Color, I think, game it was for Conker, there was a Banjo-Kazooie reference. Man, these models. At least their textures have been, like, smoothed out.
Yeah.
For the Xbox Live.
Yeah, this looks, I mean...
version.
The models are still, I guess, low poly, you'd call them. But, it looks nice. It looks real nice. My eyes aren't burning.
Yeah. Wonder if I can hold A and speed up their dialogue right now or not. I know you can once the game starts.
This is kind of a cutscene.
Yeah. Nope. I love everything about Banjo-Kazooie. Like, okay, you guys saw, like, right before this on this time slot, we played ukulele.
Yeah.
I think since recording that, I played that toy box twice more.
Yeah, actually, I just before we set up and start recording, he was playing ukulele.
I love Rare stuff, and listening to Grant Kirkhope's music. Apparently this was actually like one of his favorite projects that he ever did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I can see why.
He loves it. Everyone loves it. I like basically Grunty's like, oh, I'm not the prettiest witch. Fuck it, I'm gonna kidnap this little girl.
Yeah.
And take her beauty.
Why do they live next to Gruntilda's lair?
That's always a good question.
I don't think I've ever. I mean, I'm not that big of a Banjo head person, but like, they're just living here at the bottom of Spiral Mountain.
In Gruntilda's Revenge, you can actually find a discarded head of a Jinjo statue. Here in Spiral Mountain, where the King Jinjo was originally supposed to be living here, but Gruntilda basically kicked him out, and that's why she's like capturing Jinjos throughout this whole game and all that sorts of stuff.
Oh, that's a weird bit of backstory. Is that ever touched on in main game? Well, all right. Is Gruntilda's Revenge an official Rare game?
I do believe.
Okay. Is it considered canon?
I do believe. It's been a long time since I've looked into it or played it. I think I played it when I was like 12. So that was 14 years ago.
So one thing that
I can actually skip all of the tutorial stuff.
Oh, see, I was just about to say one thing I wasn't a fan of when I played.
Yep. I'm gonna go through it though.
Yeah.
Because it's better to remember the controls with, and it shows the viewers.
Right.
I can hold A though and make the dialogue go faster, so that's something.
Yeah. But yeah, no, when I played through for the very first time, which was like less than a year ago from us now, I was going through the tutorial and I was like, what if I was playing it on the Nintendo 64 version.
Yeah.
And I was like, what if you've already played this like a cajillion times and you just want to play through it again? You have to go through the tutorial again every single time. But now this version, what I am now dubbing the ultimately better version, allows you to skip the tutorial, which is great. Anything that allows you to skip the tutorial after you've played it once or just at all is fantastic.
Well, so a lot of the improvements in this was mostly done because of oh, that's right, he won't let me move until I do things.
Yeah.
Well, is mostly because of the memory limitations on the N64 cartridge.
Right.
Like, that's why notes came back every time in the 64 version.
Because they couldn't have a space to remember which ones were gone.
Because they would have to save the state of every note.
Right. Yeah,
Or at least, what did he tell me? Oh, that's what he or at least have, like, each note assigned a number, and then,
make it an on-off thing.
Yeah, make it like an array of what notes are gotten versus what notes are not.
Alright.
So, I got a honeycomb piece, and honeycomb is health.
Mm-hmm.
And when I collect enough, I get an extra piece of health.
Yeah.
And it just so happens that each tutorial bit here, each part that teaches you new controls besides the camera one at the very beginning, comes associated with a honeycomb. So if you do all the tutorial stuff, you can get all the honeycombs. Now, if you skip all the tutorial stuff, you can also still find all the honeycombs.
You just want to have to do them tutorially.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, tutorial levels, I mean, they're sometimes necessary, especially when you have a game with lots and lots of controls.
Yeah.
And you're gonna hate me for bringing this up, but the tutorial
Kingdom
level
Hearts.
for Kingdom Hearts
Knew it.
2 takes for fucking ever. It can range anywhere from 2 to 4 hours.
Wow.
Depending on whether you've played it before or not and you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
It's because they integrated story very heavily with the tutorial. So anytime you just like, hey, I'm gonna play Kingdom Hearts 2 again and just to have some fun. Nope, you gotta go through the fucking tutorial every single time. There's no skipping it option.
Huh.
But in the re-release, they added an option that like gives you, it's like a super hard mode, but it gives you a whole bunch of abilities right from the start, so it makes it a little easier through the tutorial. But you still have to go through the tutorial anyway, and it's kind of bullshit.
Yeah.
I'll try not to bring up Kingdom Hearts ever again. Ever again.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
Well, this game isn't like Kingdom Hearts at all.
That's very true.
Except the tutorial, I guess.
There it is. I knew there was one somewhere that I could climb up to get.
You could also climb trees in Super Mario 64. Drawing comparisons.
Oh man, this fucking music. Fun fact, if you, in the original 64 version, if you cheated using like Game Shark or whatever,
yeah,
the bridge up to Gruntilda's later has a hole in it.
Yeah.
And you cannot get past it without some sort of levitate glitch.
Really?
Yes. It's like basically completely unrepaired.
Oh.
Dang it. I like how I'm just like shoving Kazooie into rocks. And it works.
Just one more and you'll get a new hip of hell.
Yep. And near the end of the game, if we get enough notes throughout the game, there's a thing that will double my health.
Oh, shit.
Straight up. Which, in order to do it, you have to get most of the notes in the entire game.
Right.
Topper.
So as you said, the notes stay gone in this one. Like, any note that you collect will stay gone. It'll stay, like, that you collected it.
Yeah.
Whereas back in the day, if you collected some notes, and then left the level and came back, all those notes would be there again.
Including the Jinjos.
And instead of... Oh, the Jinjos stay gone too?
Yes.
Cool. And
basically everything remembers its collection point.
Right. And instead of it remembering how many notes you've collected, like, as a total, it would remember, like, on this level, the highest amount of notes you collected was this many.
Yep.
And each level has 100 Jinjos. So
100 notes.
100 notes.
100 Jinjos.
So if you got 100 in a level, then you've got them all, and you don't really need to come back for more notes.
The rat-a-tat-rap.
God damn it.
Sorry.
And that was one of the biggest reasons why, like, I don't know, I enjoy Banjo-Kazooie, but I didn't really have a huge drive to play it, because anytime I die, which was a lot, I would have to go through and collect every single note again.
Yep.
And the world would, like, go back to its default of when you first entered it. I don't like redoing things.
As has been mentioned in a few of our Let's Plays.
I don't like demos either, because mostly a demo is like the first level of a game, and I don't like having to play it and then wait and then play the first level again just to play the rest of the game. But that's just me. I mean, I'm sure plenty of people like demos, and no one really likes having to repeat things, but I really don't like having to repeat things.
Yep.
So it kind of turned me off from playing Banjo-Kazooie. But I will gladly watch you play it, because I'm sure you know what you're doing.
Pretty much. I mean, I pretty much came very close to beating this game, like, just a few months ago on the 64.
Grunty's missing some teeth.
She is an evil witch.
That's fair.
So, okay, I like how this process that she's trying to do, well, making her young and too old, like, basically takes the entire game.
Yeah.
Oh, Klungo.
There's a trope for that. Something like, the story says there's a time limit, kind of, but you really don't have one. Like, you could spend as much time as you wanted in Gruntilda's lair, and this won't be near completion until you are near the end of the game, or like at the end of the game.
So let's go get the first Jiggy.
We did it! We did it! We beat the game!
It's me, Mr. Jiggy.
That was... Go ahead.
One of my friends has a his screen name is Jiggy something. I don't want to say the full thing just because it's just because I don't want to do that to him. But he named it after Banjo-Kazooie. So with the first Jiggy, I can come around the corner and solve the first puzzle.
This was a really cool way to use... You mentioned it in Super Mario 64. This was a really cool way to use your super collectibles.
Yes.
Whereas the Power Stars in 64, they open doors, but like instead of spending them, you just collect more and more, and the doors take more and more.
Yes.
In this, you collect jiggies, and then you spend the jiggies in the paintings, which
I think in 2 you actually have to solve them. I know at some point you do.
A friend of mine and I realized that both Banjo-Kazooie and Super Mario 64 use paintings in some way to access levels.
That's
and
true.
that was a really weird coincidence between the two, considering they're like similar but not, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And next time on Turn Biased, we'll go into Mumbo's Mountain.
Bye!